Have you ever felt like you're reacting to life instead of truly living it? Like you're a ship tossed on the waves of circumstance, with no control over your own direction? What if I told you there was a timeless blueprint, an ancient operating system for the human mind that could teach you not just to weather the storms of life, but to harness their power to become stronger, calmer, and more focused than ever before? Imagine possessing an inner fortress, a citadel of the mind so resilient that no external event, not criticism, not failure, not chaos, could ever disturb your peace. This isn't a fantasy. It's a skill, and it was perfected by one of history's greatest thinkers. Welcome, seekers of strength and wisdom. In our chaotic modern world, we are bombarded with endless demands on our time, our energy, and our attention. We chase success, we crave validation, and we fear uncertainty, often leaving us feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. But what if the secret to mastering our lives doesn't lie in controlling the world around us, but in mastering the world within us? Nearly 2,000 years ago, the great Stoic philosopher Seneca, advisor to an emperor and one of the wealthiest men in Rome, laid down a series of powerful principles for achieving self-mastery. These weren't abstract theories whispered in marbled halls. They were practical, actionable strategies forged in the fires of political intrigue, personal exile, and chronic illness. Seneca knew the heights of power and the depths of despair, and through it all, he developed a philosophy for living a life of purpose, resilience, and profound tranquility. Today, we are going to unlock 15 of his most essential lessons. We will not just skim the surface, we will dive deep. These aren't just tips. They are the keys to a more powerful and purposeful you. So if you're ready to stop being a passenger and start being the captain of your own soul, you've come to the right place. Let's begin our journey. Page 1. The 15 Principles of Self-Mastery. Lesson 1. Seek out challenges. The path to self-discovery is not paved with the smooth asphalt of comfort. It's carved, step by painful step, through the rugged mountains of adversity. Seneca understood a fundamental truth about human nature. We stagnate in ease. We atrophy in the absence of resistance. He famously said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labored as the body." Think of a master blacksmith. Does she forge a sword with gentle taps? No. She plunges the metal into searing fire and hammers it with relentless force. It is this violent, intentional process that transforms brittle iron into a sharp, resilient blade. You are that metal. Your life is the forge. To deliberately seek challenges is to take control of your own transformation. Don't just wait for life to test you. It will. Instead, build your strength proactively. Is there a project at work that everyone else is avoiding because it's too difficult? Volunteer for it. Is there a physical feat that seems impossible right now, like running a marathon or climbing a mountain? Start training for it, one step at a time. The goal isn't just the achievement itself. The true victory is in the person you become while striving for it. Each obstacle you overcome, each fear you face down, builds a layer of self-belief that no one can ever take from you. You learn that your limits were merely illusions, and you discover a reserve of strength you never knew you possessed. Comfort is a cage. Challenge is the key that sets you free. Lesson 2. Choose your influences wisely. You are a living, breathing mosaic of the people you allow into your life. Every conversation you have, every mindset you encounter, adds a tile to your character. Seneca was ruthless in his social curation. Associate with people who are likely to improve you, he advised. This isn't a call for snobbery or social climbing. It is a profound act of self-preservation. Your mental and spiritual health is your most precious asset. Would you knowingly drink a little bit of poison every day? Of course not. Yet we allow toxic, negative, and draining individuals to poison our minds with their gossip, their cynicism, and their apathy. Conduct an audit of your social circle. Who leaves you feeling energized and inspired? Who leaves you feeling drained and diminished? Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who embody the virtues you wish to cultivate. If you want to be more disciplined, spend time with disciplined people. If you want to be more compassionate, surround yourself with kind souls. Their excellence will become your new standard. This principle extends beyond people to the information you consume. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the content you watch, these are all influences. Curate your informational diet as carefully as you would your food. Your mind is a sacred garden. Be the vigilant gatekeeper who decides what seeds are planted there. Lesson 3. Master your response. Here we arrive at the unshakable bedrock of all Stoic practice, the master key that unlocks every other door. You cannot control the events of your life. You can't control the economy, the weather, a sudden illness, or what other people say and do. The desperate attempt to manage these externals is the source of almost all human anxiety. But there is one thing, one sacred domain, where you have absolute, unassailable sovereignty. Your response. Life will happen. It will be beautiful and brutal, often at the same time. You will be praised, and you will be criticized. You will succeed, and you will fail. These events are like the weather. They simply are. They are neutral. It is our interpretation, our internal judgment, that labels them good or bad and unleashes a torrent of emotion. Seneca teaches us to pause in that critical space between stimulus and response. In that space lies your freedom. When someone insults you, you can choose to feel anger, or you can choose to see it as their opinion, which has no power over you unless you grant it. When you face a setback, you can choose despair, or you can choose to see it as a lesson. This is not about suppressing emotion. It's about consciously choosing a rational, virtuous response instead of being hijacked by a primal reaction. This single practice repeated daily is the path from being a slave to your circumstances to becoming the master of your soul. Lesson 4. Say yes to what truly matters. Your yes is one of the most powerful forces in your life. Every time you say it, you are allocating a finite piece of your existence, your time, your energy, your focus to something. If you are not intentional, you will find your life filled with obligations and activities that don't align with your deepest values. You will be busy, but not productive. You will be moving, but not advancing. Seneca saw this clearly. Life is long if you know how to use it. To know how to use it, you must first define what truly matters. What are your non-negotiable priorities? Your health? Your family? Your creative work? Your spiritual growth? Write them down. Make them real. These priorities become your filter. Before you say yes to a new project, a social invitation, or a simple request, hold it up against your list. Does this serve my purpose? Does this nourish my core values? Learning to say a firm but graceful no to the things that don't matter isn't about being selfish. It is the essential prerequisite for being able to say a wholehearted, powerful yes to your life's work. It's about trading the clutter of trivialities for the clarity of purpose. Lesson 5. Be a master of yourself. The greatest empire you will ever rule is the one that resides between your ears. Self-discipline, in the Stoic sense, is not about harsh restriction or self-flagellation. It is the gentle, firm, and consistent practice of aligning your actions with your highest self. It is the essence of personal freedom. To be without self-discipline is to be a slave to your appetites, your moods, your fleeting impulses, and the manipulations of others. Think of the small battles you face every day. The battle between waking up to your alarm and hitting the snooze button. The battle between a healthy meal and a sugary snack. The battle between deep, focused work and the siren call of social media. Each time you choose the wiser, more deliberate path, you cast a vote for your future self. You strengthen the muscle of your willpower. Self-mastery isn't a grand, one-time event. It's built in these tiny, daily moments of conscious choice. It is the quiet, dignified process of becoming the person you know you are meant to be. One disciplined decision at a time. It is the difference between a life of intention and a life of regret. Lesson 6. Protect your time. It is not that we have a short time to live, Seneca wrote in one of his most famous essays, but that we waste a great deal of it. Time is the great equalizer. Billionaire and beggar alike are granted the same 24 hours each day. Yet, it is the only resource that is utterly irreplaceable. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn back a single wasted second. When you truly internalize this fact, your perception of the world changes. You begin to see the profound cost of things that once seemed harmless. That hour spent mindlessly scrolling through a social media feed? It's an hour of your life you'll never get back. That meeting that could have been an email? It's the collective lifespan of everyone in the room, vanished forever. Guard your time with the ferocity of a soldier defending a fortress. Audit your days? Where are the leaks? Where is your life's most precious resource being squandered? Learn to be ruthless in protecting your focus. Delegate, automate, or eliminate tasks that don't serve your ultimate purpose. Be fully present in the moments that matter. A life of meaning isn't measured in years, but in the richness of moments lived with intention. Lesson 7. Do the hard things? Our modern world is a conspiracy against resilience. We have outsourced discomfort. We live in climate-controlled homes. We have food delivered to our doors, and we seek to eliminate every possible friction from our lives. While convenient, this has made us psychologically fragile. Seneca and the Stoics advocated for the opposite, voluntary discomfort. This is the practice of intentionally exposing yourself to mild, controlled forms of hardship to build psychological armor. Don't wait for a crisis to test your mettle. Train for it in times of peace. Take cold showers. Fast intermittently. Sleep on the floor for a night. Deliberately leave your phone at home when you go for a walk. These small acts of self-denial do two things. First, they expand your tolerance for discomfort, making you far more resilient when faced with involuntary hardship. A freezing shower makes a chilly day feel trivial. Second, they cultivate immense gratitude. A simple bed feels like the peak of luxury after a night on the floor. By regularly stepping out of your comfort zone, you shrink your fears. You prove to yourself, over and over again, that you are capable of enduring more than you thought possible. Lesson 8. Make others better. A philosophy that remains locked within one's own mind is sterile. The true fruition of wisdom is found in its application for the good of the community. The Stoics called this concept philanthropy, a love of mankind. They believed we were born for cooperation, like the hands and feet of a single body. To live a good life, therefore, requires us to be a positive force in the lives of others. This doesn't mean you have to solve world hunger. It starts in your daily interactions. Can you be the person at work who offers a word of encouragement instead of criticism? Can you listen with genuine, undivided attention when a friend is struggling? Can you share your knowledge freely with someone who needs it? Seneca believed that wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. In making others better, we paradoxically make ourselves better. The act of teaching reinforces our own learning. The act of giving cultivates a sense of abundance. The act of compassion dissolves the ego. Your inner work on yourself is not just for you. It is your gift to the world. Lesson 9. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the operating system of joy. It is a conscious, deliberate choice to focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Our brains are naturally wired to spot threats, problems, and deficits, a survival mechanism from our evolutionary past. But in the modern world, this negativity bias often leads to chronic dissatisfaction. We achieve a goal, feel a fleeting moment of pleasure, and immediately fixate on the next higher peak. Stoic gratitude is an active rebellion against this tendency. It is the practice of wanting what you already possess. Seneca suggested a simple but profound evening ritual. Before sleep, review your day and find things to be thankful for. Don't just list them. Truly feel the gratitude. The warmth of your bed, the food you ate, a conversation with a loved one, the simple, miraculous fact of your own breath. Practicing this daily doesn't change your circumstances, but it radically changes your experience of them. It shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from anxiety to contentment. It is the most direct path to a rich life, regardless of the size of your bank account. Lesson 10. Embrace continuous learning. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. This beautiful quote from Seneca encapsulates the Stoic approach to knowledge. Mastery is not a final destination. It is a continuous process. The world is in a constant state of flux, and the person who believes they have all the answers is the one most likely to be left behind. Cultivating a beginner's mind, even in areas where you have expertise, is essential. A beginner is open, curious, and humble, receptive to new information, and willing to be wrong. Read outside your field. Talk to people with different perspectives. Travel and immerse yourself in new cultures. Ask why like a child. See every experience, especially your mistakes, as a learning opportunity. The goal is not just to accumulate facts, but to cultivate wisdom, the ability to apply knowledge effectively in the real world. In a rapidly changing future, the most valuable skill will be the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. The master of oneself is, first and foremost, a lifelong student. Lesson 11. Embrace vulnerability. Our culture often presents a warped image of strength and invincible, emotionless hero who never shows weakness. The Stoics offered a more nuanced and powerful definition. They understood the true courage is not the absence of fear or pain. It is the willingness to act virtuously despite them. Embracing vulnerability is a profound act of this courage. It means having the strength to say, I don't know, or I need help. It means being able to apologize sincerely when you are wrong. It means having the courage to share your authentic self with others, knowing that you risk rejection. This is not weakness. It is the foundation of genuine human connection. It takes immense self-confidence to expose your imperfections. It signals to others that you are comfortable with who you are, flaws and all. This authenticity is magnetic. It creates trust and allows for relationships of incredible depth and meaning. True strength isn't about building walls around your heart. It's about having a heart strong enough to remain open. Lesson 12. Cultivate resilience through adversity. The Stoics possessed a transformative mental tool, a kind of philosophical alchemy. Their motto was, the obstacle is the way. They believed that any challenge, any setback, any piece of misfortune could be transmuted into a source of strength, wisdom, and opportunity. Marcus Aurelius described it as a fire that turns whatever is thrown on it into flame and brightness. When you encounter an obstacle, your initial reaction might be frustration or despair. The Stoic trains themselves to have a different secondary reaction, curiosity. Instead of why me, they ask, what can I learn from this? What virtue does this situation give me an opportunity to practice? A delayed flight is a chance to practice patience. An unfair criticism is a chance to practice Emotional regulation. A difficult project is a chance to practice perseverance. This mindset shift is revolutionary. It means that nothing can happen to you that you cannot use for your own growth. You become antifragile, a system that doesn't just survive shocks, but actually gets stronger from them. Every stumble becomes a step forward on your path. Lesson 13. Practice the art of reflection. An unexamined life, as Socrates said, is not worth living. For the Stoics, self-reflection was not a passive navel-gazing exercise. It was an active, structured, and essential daily practice. It is the process by which you become your own coach, your own wisest counselor. At the end of each day, Seneca would put himself on trial, reviewing his actions and intentions with gentle but honest scrutiny. He would ask questions like, "What fault did I overcome today? What temptation did I resist? What virtue did I strengthen?" The goal is not to berate yourself for your failings, but to gather data for improvement. It's about recognizing your patterns, celebrating your small wins, and setting a clear intention for the following day. This practice is like a compass for your character. Without it, you are simply drifting. With it, you are making conscious, daily course corrections, ensuring that you are consistently moving in the direction of the person you truly want to become. It is the engine of all personal growth. Lesson 14. Cultivate a robust mindset. Your mindset is the invisible force that shapes your reality. It is the lens through which you interpret every event and every interaction. A fragile mindset focuses on problems, sees limitations, and blames external factors. A robust Stoic mindset, by contrast, is relentlessly solution-oriented. It doesn't deny the existence of problems, but it refuses to grant them the power of being the final word. When faced with a challenge, the robust mind immediately asks, "What is within my control here? What is the next small, productive step I can take?" It actively scans for the opportunity hidden within the crisis. This is the essence of what psychologists now call a growth mindset. It is the core belief that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. Cultivating this mindset is a choice. It's a habit you build by consciously redirecting your thoughts from complaint to contribution, from blame to responsibility, and from obstacle to opportunity. Lesson 15. Live in alignment with your values. This final principle is the capstone that holds the entire arch of Stoic philosophy together. All the other practices, discipline, resilience, reflection, are in service of this ultimate goal: to live a life of integrity and authenticity. A life in alignment is one where your daily actions are a true reflection of your deepest held beliefs. But first, you must define those beliefs. What are your core values? Take the time to truly articulate them. Write down words like integrity, compassion, courage, wisdom, justice, and growth. Which of these resonate most deeply with you? Choose your top 3 to 5. These are now your guiding stars. Before making any significant decision, ask yourself, is this action in harmony with my values? When your actions and values are aligned, you experience a profound sense of inner peace and purpose. There is no conflict between who you are and what you do. This is the meaning of a good life in the Stoic sense. It is not a life of pleasure or material wealth, but a life of coherent, virtuous, and honorable action. It is the masterpiece you create by living your philosophy every single day. Page 2. The 7-Day Stoic Challenge. All right, we've just journeyed through the 15 foundational principles of Seneca's philosophy. We've explored the what and the why, but philosophy, if it remains only in the mind, is just a collection of interesting ideas. To truly change your life, you must move from theory to practice. You must live it. That's what this next part is all about. I'm inviting you to join me in a practical 7-day Stoic challenge. This isn't about becoming a perfect sage in a week. It's about taking the first, most important steps. It's about getting a taste of the tranquility and resilience that this philosophy offers. Each day, we will focus on one core Stoic exercise. Are you ready to put these ancient ideas to the ultimate test in your modern life? Let's begin. Day 1. The view from above. Today's practice is about perspective. We spend most of our lives zoomed in on our own problems, our anxieties, and our ambitions. They feel enormous, all-consuming. The view from above is a powerful visualization exercise designed to break the spell. The task: find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed for 10 minutes. Close your eyes. First, visualize yourself in the room you are in. Then, slowly begin to zoom out. See your building, your neighborhood, your city. Continue zooming out, seeing your country as a patch of color on the globe. See the earth itself, a beautiful blue marble hanging in the blackness of space. Float past the moon, the sun, and the other planets in our solar system. Go further, seeing our solar system as a tiny speck in the vast swirl of the Milky Way galaxy. And then see our galaxy as just one of countless billions of other galaxies. Hold that image. From this vantage point, bring your problem back to mind. Your deadline at work, an argument you had, your financial worries. How big do they seem now, viewed from the cosmic scale? This exercise isn't meant to make your problems feel insignificant, but to place them in their proper context. It cultivates a sense of awe and dissolves the ego's anxious grip. Do this once in the morning and once in the evening. Day 2. The dichotomy of control. Today is about reclaiming your mental energy. The task is simple in theory, but challenging in practice. For 24 hours, consciously focus only on what is within your control. The task: take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write "within my control." On the other, "not within my control." Throughout the day, whenever you feel a surge of anxiety, anger, or frustration, pause and identify the cause. Then, place it in the correct column. Stuck in traffic? The traffic is not in your control. Your reaction to it, the music you listen to, the podcast you learn from, your choice not to rages. A coworker's negative comment? The comment is not in your control. Your interpretation of it and your decision not to let it ruin your day is. This exercise is a powerful filter. You will be amazed at how much of your energy is being wasted on the right side of the page. Today, your job is to live entirely on the left side. Day 3. Premeditatio malorum, negative visualization. Today, we embrace a counterintuitive Stoic practice, thinking about what could go wrong. This isn't pessimism. It's a tool for building resilience and cultivating gratitude. The task: in the morning, take 5 minutes to meditate on potential setbacks for the day. Don't catastrophize, but think realistically. Imagine your big presentation doesn't go well. Imagine you get a flat tire. Imagine a project you're working on gets delayed. Then, for each scenario, do 2 things. First, visualize how you would. Handle it with calm, rational competence. You would have a backup plan. You would call for help. You would adapt. Second, and most importantly, feel profound gratitude that these things have not happened. When you go through your day, every moment that is free from these imagined troubles will feel like a gift. This practice strips future misfortunes of their power to shock you and makes you deeply appreciate the present moment. Day 4. Memento Mori. Remember you must die. Today's practice is about urgency and appreciation. Memento Mori is the Stoic reminder of our own mortality. Not to be morbid, but to be motivated. The task. Your mission today is to live as if this were your last day on earth. This doesn't mean being reckless. It means being intentional. Would you waste time on petty arguments if this were your last day? Would you put off telling someone you love them? Would you spend hours on meaningless distractions? Use this thought as a filter for your actions. Treat every interaction with kindness and presence. Savor your meals. Feel the sun on your skin. Work on what truly matters. Let the awareness of death bring a vibrant, focused intensity to your life. It is the ultimate cure for procrastination. Day 5. Voluntary discomfort. Today, we build strength by stepping out of our comfort zone, as we discussed in the principles. The task. Choose one. Safe, voluntary hardship to endure today. It could be taking a 30-second cold shower at the end of your warm one. It could be skipping your morning coffee. It could be choosing to walk or bike to work instead of driving. It could be fasting until lunchtime. As you experience the discomfort, focus on your internal monologue. Don't resist it. Observe it. Tell yourself, I can handle this. This is making me stronger. The goal is to prove to your mind that you are tougher than it thinks, and that your well-being does not depend on constant comfort. Day 6. Philanthropic action. Today, we turn our focus outward. Stoicism is not a selfish philosophy. It is deeply communal. The task. Your goal today is to perform one completely selfless act of kindness, with no expectation of recognition or reward. It can be small. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you in line. Send a genuine, detailed email to a colleague praising their work and CC their boss. Take 30 minutes to clean up a local park. The key is the intention. Do it simply because it is the right thing to do, because you are part of a human community and have a duty to contribute to it. Observe how this act of giving affects your own sense of well-being and purpose. Day 7. The evening review. We end our challenge with a practice that ties it all together. Reflection. The task. Before you go to sleep tonight, sit down with a journal and a clear mind. Ask yourself the 3 questions Seneca posed to himself. 1. What did I do wrong today? Not for self-flagellation, but for honest assessment. 2. What did I do right? Acknowledge your progress and virtuous actions. 3. What could I do differently tomorrow? Set a clear intention for continued improvement. Review your entire week. What did you learn from the challenges? Which practice was most difficult? Which was most impactful? This final act of reflection solidifies the lessons learned and paves the way for making these practices a permanent part of your life. You've completed the challenge. Take a moment to acknowledge that. You have actively engaged with a 2,000-year-old philosophy and applied it to your life. How do you feel? Lighter? Calmer? More in control? This is just the beginning. Page 3. A final reflection. We have journeyed far in a short time. We began with the 15 pillars of Seneca's wisdom, ancient stones that form the foundation of a resilient life. We explored the courage to seek challenges, understanding that the untested self is an unknown self. We learn to be vigilant gatekeepers of our minds, choosing our influences with the care of a master gardener. We discovered the ultimate freedom that lies in the space between stimulus and response, the sacred ground where we choose who we will be. We practice the art of the intentional no to protect our powerful yes. We embrace discipline not as a cage, but as the key to self-mastery. We learn to guard our time, that irreplaceable currency of life, and to build our strength through the fire of voluntary discomfort. We saw that the purpose of inner work is to better serve the outer world, making others better as we better ourselves. We found the cure for dissatisfaction in the simple, profound act of gratitude, and committed to being lifelong students in the school of life. We found strength in vulnerability, power in adversity, and direction in daily reflection. We trained our minds to be robust and solution-oriented, and finally, we sought to align our every action with our deepest values, creating a life of integrity and wholeness. Then, we took these ideas from the page and thrust them into the world. We stepped into the arena for our 7-day challenge. We zoomed out to see our troubles shrink from a cosmic perspective. We drew a hard line between what we can control and what we cannot, and found peace in focusing only on the former. We looked into the face of potential misfortune and stripped it of its power to surprise us. We remembered our mortality not with fear, but to infuse our life with urgency and meaning. We took a cold shower, skipped the meal, and learned that we are not as fragile as our comfort-addicted minds would have us believe. We performed an act of selfless kindness and felt the deep, resonant joy of our shared humanity. And we ended each day as our own wisest counselor, reviewing our progress on this winding, beautiful path. So what does it all mean, now that the lessons have been heard and the challenge is met? It means that Stoicism is not a dusty philosophy for academics. It is a living, breathing, practical toolkit for thriving in a chaotic world. It is the understanding that the universe is not happening to you. It is happening for you. Every event, every person, every challenge is a curriculum designed for your growth. The obstacle in your path is not blocking the path. The obstacle is the path. The journey of self-mastery is not a war you wage against the world. It is a peace treaty you sign with reality. It is the deep, cellular understanding that your happiness, your tranquility, and your sense of worth are not dependent on external outcomes. They are not held in your job title, your bank account, or the approval of others. They are forged, cultivated, and protected in the inner citadel of your own mind. This is the ultimate protection, the only true security. You are the architect of that citadel. Every time you choose reason over reaction, you lay another stone. Every time you practice gratitude, you are tending the gardens within its walls. Every time you face a fear, you are reinforcing its foundations. It is a lifelong project, this construction of the soul. There will be days the walls crumble. There will be days you feel you have made no progress at all. That is part of the journey. The goal is not to be a perfect, unshakable sage. The goal is simply to get back up, to consult your blueprint, and to lay one more stone, a little better than you did yesterday. This path is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming emotionally resilient. It is not about being passive. It is about taking powerful, deliberate action on the things that truly matter. It is about living with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever life sends your way because you have trained for it. You have cultivated an inner peace that the world cannot give, and therefore the world cannot take away. This is the promise of Stoicism. This is the gift of Seneca. It is the power to solve, not the universe outside, but the universe within. And that, you will find, makes all the difference. Thank you for walking this path of discovery with us today. If this journey brought you even a single moment of clarity or sparked a quiet resolve within you, then you've found a home here. Welcome to the channel. We believe this is a conversation, not a lecture, and we're just getting started. See you in the next chapter. And until then, stay grounded, stay grateful, stay stoic.